Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your guy, Mr. 945, coming back at you. It's been a minute. Yes, it has been a minute. Your boy been busy. I think it's been, a couple months since I chopped it up with you guys. But I'm back. I haven't really went anywhere, but I'm back. I've been busy, so I got a lot of, I don't necessarily want to say I got a lot of content. But I got some things I wanted to share with you guys, so I'm doing another video. Trying to get back and get more consistent. So I posted a couple of range footage videos, but I am sharing today, you guys. I took the dive. Last time I chatted with y'all, I think it was, I told you guys I had went maybe almost 3 months without pulling the trigger on something firearm related, or basically really filling out another 4473. So I filled out some more. This isn't new, by the way. This is old. This is still my home defense option, but there's something different that you guys may or may not notice. I mean, for those of you that know, you know. I did it. I done took the plunge. I done went on ahead and bought a can. I done gave the government they little funky $200 and I bought a can. This is the 45 suppressor from Rugged Obsidian, or from Rugged, the Obsidian 45 suppressor. And I got it specifically for this. Also for my 45 CMMG Banshee, which I have direct thread mounts for. So I went ahead and took the suppressor plunge. And I wanted to actually share the journey with you guys real quick. I'm gonna try to, be brief about it because I got some stuff I need to go and do. But all in all, y'all know, like, suppressor wait times. You hear stuff or whatever talking about, oh yeah, suppressor wait times, they coming down. Folks are talking about, oh, I get it in 3 days, or oh, I got it in a week, or this, that, and the third. And there's still some people talking about they still waiting a month, 2 months, 3 months out. So I've never bought a suppressor before. This is my first suppressor. I was always of the mindset, like, look, why I got to pay the government $200 just to buy something, right? Plus having to wait, 8, 12 months just to get it. I am not that patient. I'm a patient person, but I am not that patient. However, I bit the bullet, and actually I got this suppressor back. And well, I got the approval from the time that it was filed with the ATF on the form 3 or 4, or whatever the hell the form is. I got it back in 3 days. I got the approval over the course of 3 days, 72 hours straight up. Not talking about weekend times or anything like that, but straight up 72 hours. So that was not the total time that it took from the time that I purchased it, though. So when people say, yeah, I got my approval in 1 day or anything like that, that's from the time in which they submit their e-form over to the ATF. There's steps in place prior to that. You got to buy the suppressor first, right? So you got to buy the suppressor through your local dealer or through Silencer Shop or whoever you're going to buy it through. You got to buy it first. From there, I'll tell you what I went through. So I bought this from my local dealer, Georgia Fine Line. What's up? Shout out to those guys. I bought it through them. Had a good deal. And just like with my very first firearm, I bought it through them. So I didn't want to go online, or I didn't want to go, like third party or anything like that. I wanted to go through a dealer so that they can walk me through it. I wanted the process to be easy and painless as possible. So I bought it through them. They did whatever they needed to do on their side with the paperwork. They walked me over to the kiosk. I think it's silencer shot kiosk or whatever. Had me do my fingerprints and all of that good stuff. I did all of that at the time that I bought it. So I did all of the fingerprint stuff, sign up for silencer shop, all of that day. I didn't do anything prior to walking into the store. I made a decision like, look, I came in, look, I'm gonna take the plunge. I want to buy a suppressor. So told them what I wanted. I knew this is what I wanted because I knew what I wanted it for. So that's step one. Definitely make sure if you haven't bought a suppressor and you want a suppressor, know what you want it for. So they walked me over to the kiosk. It took me maybe about 15 minutes or something like that to go through the fingerprint and all of that stuff on the kiosk, submitted all of that. And they were like, cool, now you got to wait. And I'm like, wait for what? You got to wait for the response from Silencer Shop just to make sure everything is good to go. From there, there's like another step where they say that you can submit the e-form to the ATF or whatever. So yeah, you basically have to wait on that part. So it's not like you buy the suppressor, you do your fingerprints, and it's off to the ATF. Nah, at least from what I went through, I had to wait for them for Silencer Shop to say it was okay and they were going to submit the stuff or get everything ready to do the e-form. Everything was ready to send over via the e-form. So that took maybe about a couple days, to be quite honest. Yeah, I went in there on a Friday to the gun store. It's my local FFL. Went in on a Friday. They had the suppressor. I bought it. I did the kiosk thing or whatever. Did all of that stuff. And they were like, all right, you got to wait until you get the okay or get the word back that everything's ready to certify. On, I think, like Tuesday, I got an email notification like, ready to certify. You will receive further steps. I'm like, all right, I'm waiting on something else. I never heard anything else. Wednesday, Thursday. So next Friday, I went back to I called my FFL and said, hey, I got this email talking about it's ready to certify, wait for next steps. And they were like, what's your stuff, your info? So I gave my name and all that stuff. And they were like, oh, here, do this whole thing. They did some kind of virtual thing where they set up I don't know what the hell it was, but they did something on their end and they logged me in virtually with the whole e-form thing. I filled out something like I guess it was the form 4. It was very much like the 4473. But I filled that out again, it seemed like. And yeah, then it was off to the ATF. I'm like, oh, that's it? Okay, cool. So they was like, yeah, now you just got to wait for the ATF to send back your tax stamp and you can come pick up your suppressor. I'm like, for real? I could have came in 3 days earlier and did all of this. They're like, yeah, well, so it is what it is. So that was a Friday. That following Tuesday, I got the email from the ATF that my stamp was approved and I could pick up my can. And lo and behold, my shop closes at like 8 o'clock at night. I was there after work, pick up my girl. So, and yes, I've already shot this. I am going to post some range footage soon, but this is that sexy beast right here. So this is a modular can where you can change the size of it. This is the long configuration, and then you can basically shorten it to this length, right? And it attaches on like so. I only shot it in the long configuration. I did not shoot it in the short configuration because when I shot it, this motherfucker locked up on me. So I said all of that. Let's see, we about 9 minutes in. Process wise, yeah. Roughly about 3 days, but in my ignorance, it took a little bit longer. So when I found that out, put that in there, I went nuts. Yeah. So your boy Mr. 945 got the 45 ACP suppressor that covers everything up to 45 ACP, 22 long rifle up to 45 ACP, and 4570 and 300 blackout. This covers all of that. This covers everything this covers, with the except this does not cover 45 ACP. Anything above a 35 caliber or whatever diameter. And this is this is a rugged Obsidian 9 suppressor. And this is the rugged Oculus 22 suppressor, but this covers 22 LR, 22 Magnum, and 5.7. So I got all three. I got all three of these, like they were in my possession from the time that I purchased them, all within 1 month total for all three. This one took, had I not been ignorant to the email that I got, I could have had this back in a week. This, I bought this from my dealer as well. And after I bought it, it took roughly about a week. I didn't have to go through the whole silencer shop kiosk, do the fingerprint stuff, because with the kiosk, it keeps all your stuff on file. So when you buy another suppressor, it's basically them just kind of validating what was already on file and getting your certification thing ready. So yeah, it took actually a little bit quicker for this one. I think it was like about a week or a couple of days or so. And then lastly, this took the longest, namely because I bought this online from a third-party retailer. And it had to get shipped to my FFL. The first thing that it needed to do, they needed to do like some other form or whatever so that they can ship it to another class 3 dealer. So they did that. And then once it's shipped, it got to my FFL. They go through and do all of the other stuff or whatever. So yeah, this took the longest actually for me to get. But all in all, in the span of a month, I had all of these three from the time that I purchased them to the time that they were in my possession, all within a month. So yeah, definitely wait times are what they are. And yes, you have to pay a $200 funky tax stamp for each one, which sucks. Word of caution, word of advice. I guess one of those things, if I knew then what I knew now, the guy at my gun shop was like, dude, you know you're gonna want another suppressor. When I bought this one, I was like, nah, I just want one can to do everything. And they're like, yeah, people say that, but don't always work out like that. Suppressors are expensive, not just the suppressor itself, the accessories. You gotta buy shit for the suppressor. So like I bought a ultrasonic cleaner because cleaning these joints is a bitch. When I tried to clean this, oh hell, it was a bitch. I had to buy mounts. You have to buy mounts for it. So because you can direct thread them, but there's things like when you have the suppressors or whatever, you put them on their direct thread, they have a tendency, and this doesn't matter what suppressor you have, they can walk off. Walk off meaning they can come loose, and if it's loose, it's wobbly, and you're shooting through it, you can get what's called a baffle strike, and you fuck up your suppressor. One of the reasons why I went with rugged suppressor, no questions asked, lifetime warranty, best warranty in the game. So with me being a newbie, I'm like, look, I'm going rugged. Hey, if I mess it up, I mess it up, but they replace it, no questions asked. I haven't had to do that yet, but I hope I don't. But that's why I went with them. And plus, they got good. They're modular and they cover a lot. The suppressors, you can use them in a lot of different scenarios, calibers or whatever. And they got good reviews, so that's pretty much why I went with rugged. But yeah, you got to buy the accessories. So I bought the three lug adapter mounts for my CMG Banshee. I bought a mount for 9 and for 45. So that's these here. Yeah, this shit gets expensive. I bought an extra one because I'm an idiot. Fixed barrel spacer. If you want to put it on a PCC, you can't run the mount that comes with it. That mount is, these are pistol suppressors, but if you want to run it on like a PCC or whatever, you have to get a fixed barrel spacer and replace the mount. So I had to get that to prevent or to lessen the likelihood of the suppressor walking off. I changed out the attachment. So instead of doing direct thread, I went through Griffin Armament and got like these thread adapters here. So I got a couple of those or whatever from Griffin Armament. Let's see. Oh, suppressor tools to unscrew that joint when it gets locked on there. So I got some of these from eBay. Baffle alignment tools. I got all kind of crazy shit. So yeah, so I got all kind of crazy stuff, man. But what if I knew then what I knew now? So would I do it all again? Shooting suppressed is a joy. Like, you hear poof and it's like, wow, it gives you that giggle. Like shooting binary, it gives you that giggle, right? It's definitely a pleasure. I would say this, in all honesty, like if you're not shooting outside, you really don't need a suppressor, right? I mean, because you go into I only have access to an indoor range. I don't even know where the closest outdoor range is to me. You know, if you're going to shoot indoor, hell, everybody else is shooting without a suppressor, but you're shooting with a suppressor. So at the ear, yes, it benefits you, but hell, you still got to wear ear protection. In the home defense, definitely a benefit. But the practice with it and all of that good stuff, I mean, if you had an outdoor range, perfect setup. Which is why I got this. I don't have an outdoor range, but I'm gonna sneak and shoot some shit outside. We gonna see what that look like. But yeah, so would I do it all again? Maybe. I wouldn't run out. I wouldn't suggest folks run out and get a suppressor just because the wait times are low, unless you have an outdoor range to shoot at and really, really enjoy the benefit of shooting suppressed. Because it's not like you gonna, I mean, if you in a situation where you are really truly preparing for someone to invade your house and you having to shoot inside your home, yeah, go for it. But you probably want to move too. I'm not in that situation. I'm blessed enough to not be in a location where I feel like that would happen, but I'm not negating the fact that it could happen, right? And you know, that's why we protect ourselves and arm up, right? So yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind it. Would I do it again? Yeah. The next can, or the last can that I will probably get, is a rifle rated can. These two support up to they support 300 blackout. I do not have a 300 blackout upper. I might get one. I don't know. I'm on the fence, because I wouldn't use 300 blackout for home defense. Although it's an excellent home defense option, I would use my PCC, my Banshee and 45. That will be my home defense rifle, and paired with this, so my handgun. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea for that for me. Also have shotgun setups or whatever as well that I would use for home defense. But yeah, that is actually all I would do. I wouldn't go rifle. So I'm not as pressed to get a rifle rated can or a 300 blackout upper to support either of these. But I have been looking at the rugged Razor 7.62 and the rugged Alaskan 360. Those are 30 cal cans that could support 5.56, 7.62, and 300 blackout, and suppress it way better than these probably would, at least from what I hear with the reviews. I don't know. But on the rifle side, I mean, the sound is not like whisper. I won't say whisper or Hollywood quiet, but it's not hearing protection quiet on those as more so with the pistol suppressor. So that's why I kind of stuck with the pistol suppressor. So, but still, again, I can't use it without ear pro unless I'm on an outdoor range. So get that logic. But yeah, so I'm in a suppressor game, y'all. I'm in a suppressor game. I will post as much range footage as I can to, you know, showcase me shooting suppressed. I've ran the 45 suppressed. I haven't run the 9 suppressed yet, or the 22. I was trying to get a 22 setup, like a straight up 22 setup, which I think I got one, and I'm gonna do an unboxing on that because I got another something to do that with. And I got a couple of 9mm options that I'm going to dedicate my 9mm suppressor for. And yeah, I gotta do some unboxing on that too. I got some shit for y'all. But yeah, so outside of that, this is probably about the longest video I've ever done. So I'm gonna cut it short. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Sorry it's been a minute, but I will follow back up with you all shortly. Stay safe, keep training, keep protecting those 2A rights, and we're gonna see what this election pan out for us. But you know, keep prepping. On top of all of that, peace.